Today is the 17th day of June in 2021. I'm over at a neighbor's field. Back when this stuff was kind of dry, before anything else came up, some weed control guys come in and they sprayed some kind of pre-emergent stuff on it. The ones where the grass is really yellow. But if you can look around, you can see that in and around about, there's all kinds of other weeds coming up. And over here is a good weed to consider. This is called deadly nightshade. It's kind of stickery. It's got yellow seeds that blow all over. The roots go down 20 plus feet. Hard to get rid of this stuff. I keep trying. Well, this year earlier, I decided to come over and spray this one, and 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 this one. Look how they're dead. They were in blossom just like those when I sprayed them. Now, what did I spray them with? I know Monsanto wants you to use Roundup, and all the stores want to sell it, but I didn't use Roundup at all. No, I didn't use Roundup. You know what I used? I used olive oil, because I was out of vegetable oil at the time, and I don't really use much cooking oil, so I didn't have any of that. But you know, I bought this stuff, the cooking oil, and the vegetable oil. I bought not the cooking oil, I'm sorry, but the vegetable oil and the olive oil. Guess where I bought them? I bought them at the Dollar Tree store. Paid $1 a bottle. I used one bottle on those I just showed you. Got rid of them. Well, I'm walking back down to the other side of my property where my house is. I want to show you some other things here. Still hadn't get dressed up in hazmat suits. All you have to do for spraying weeds is go and get, ta-dum, vegetable oil. $1 a bottle. That was olive oil. I used it because I was out of the other stuff. $1 a bottle. That's not expensive. Much cheaper than the poison, and it's not poisonous to me or my pets or anything like that. Now, I did have, earlier on, I had 2 bottles of olive oil, or not olive oil, I had 2 bottles of the vegetable oil, which I'm not so sure it's good to cook with the dang stuff, but anyway, I came over here where my neighbor has put gravel for his landscaping. Pretty dumb, huh? So let's back up here and see what I got. See, the rocks that he's got, the grasses kind of infiltrate. Well, I had some weeds come up. That one was clover. Some of these others out here were clover. Back here, the Bermuda grass was infiltrating. Now this was a couple of months ago that I sprayed, and I didn't spray that well, just one of those little hand sprayer things, and put the vegetable oil in and did it. But you see where it's all browned out? See where it's browned out? That is where it killed the Bermuda grass. And that particular Bermuda grass isn't coming back. Now it stayed green for a little while, especially the clover stuff stayed green, and you can see the spot. Kind of looks like oil was put on it. But it's vegetable oil. That's not going to hurt you, me, your pets, the environment. And it kills the Bermuda grass. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up my unscripted video and just say, you don't have to buy poisons. Now, I was just on the internet today and saw this big thing about all these diseases, cancers of different kinds, leukemia, and different kinds of other cancers that are caused by Roundup, and their lawsuits are being brought against them to compensate people for the health problems that have been caused by using Roundup. I even have a neighbor up here. She said her father used Roundup every single solitary day. He died at 63 of leukemia. Men in his family only lived to in their 90s. Look how cheap that is. Vegetable oil, or cheap olive oil. And it's got some stuff added to it. You know, it's not just straight vegetable olive oil, but it's cheap, real cheap. Kill it. If you don't want Bermuda grass someplace, use it. Don't use Roundup. Yeah. We got some weeds like those deadly nightshade that are hard to get rid of. I know a farmer friend of mine, he's been out early in the morning for weeks now spraying that stuff with Roundup. Gets up early before the wind blows so it doesn't travel any place. And he dresses in hazmat suits. You don't have to do that with vegetable oil. Why, you can just buy this stuff cheap, and if you use it for cooking and still have it left over, you can use that too. You know, this doesn't have a smell to it. This hardly has a smell to it. It's cheap, effective, doesn't hurt anybody. You're not going to have lawsuits being brought against the manufacturers of this vegetable oil or this olive oil just because you're not going to have it. So, if you've been affected by those things, like the hard chemical sprays, so you better start using something like this. Now, the companies that make Roundup, well, they went and modified all kinds of plants. We call it genetically modified, so they would withstand Roundup. Well, you don't have to do anything like that with these things. This is not going to genetically modify anything. It's going to kill the weeds you want killed safely. So, instead of going out and killing yourself with Roundup or some other deadly poison, use vegetable oil, olive oil, used cooking oil. Safe for the environment, safe for you, safe for your plants, safe for your animals, your pets. That's it. Jay Beecham with a tip of the day.